Are we close to the end game of War Thunder? Let's talk a little bit about it. Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe. And in the Seek and Destroy update we just had the Fox trees being added. And it is one of the last technologies that we actually needed to be a modern combat aircraft game, right? There are a few things that are left, obviously. The main ones would be obviously EASA, PESA radars, which are Electronics Canada Array radars, right? Which are basically a much more modern radar than what we have in the game right now. But that would still like mean it is just a better radar overall. It's nothing like that going to completely break the game. People will just be able to detect everybody quicker and for a longer range. Um, Also, stealth, of course, it could be added at some point. I don't know if we are ever gonna see that, but we might see it, right? ECM might be a thing, but beyond that is just better and better missiles, and that's it, right? So we are getting close to the modern day usage of aircraft, but are we getting close to the end game of the game? Is the game gonna just basically not have anything to be added in a soonish future, and that's gonna be it? Well, yes and no. That's the thing. In my opinion, yes, we are getting closer to that, and to be honest, I have a feeling that in the next like 2 years, we are already going to be maxing it out, the technologies and top tier aircraft being the most modern that we can ever have, right? So I would suggest that during this year we might see like the beginning of the real 4.5 or plus generation aircraft coming, with some maybe better missiles, maybe better IR missiles, better radar missiles, better radars. Again, all the things that I was talking about it before, right? And then after that, it's just building from there. There isn't that many aircraft that can be added. Yes, technically there is a lot, but at the end of the day, there's less and less each patch that we go through, right? And I would suggest that in like 2 years max, if we ever gonna see fifth generations, we probably gonna see in the next couple of years, right? Or something like that. So with the speed that everything is going through right now, which means that we are gonna get to this end game. Yes, we are getting closer to that on the regards that if an F-35 is added, if an Su-57 and F-22 is added to the game, that's it. There's nothing else to be added that it's better than those things. But there is a little thing about it that I don't think the end game of the game itself is gonna come. Why is that? Well, that's the first thing that we have to like think about. Think about ground tanks, ground targets. Everything that you see in an aircraft, in the terms of meta and how they're being added and everything like that, think about that for tanks. Tanks already got there. We already have technically the 4.5 fifth gen jets versions of a tank, right? There is a couple of tanks, of course, variants and stuff that are missing. But for example, for the Leopard, we're basically there. The T90M was just added not a while back there, Of course, there is, maybe the Armata, a version here and there of a Leopard, a version here and there of an Abrams. But overall, we are already there, right? There's always things getting added. There's always new tech trees with a whole bunch of tanks being added. And the meta is, although changing slowly, they're always changing here and there something. And of course, there's a lot of people playing the game in ground battles, even if we are not seeing that many top tiers being added. And I think the aircraft will be the same. The aircraft will get to a place where we are just on top of the modern technology, but there is always a little version here and there of an F-111, of a MiG-29, of a prototype of X or Y or whatever. There's always something to be added. And of course, there will be less like bigger updates, you know, like in the sense of groundbreaking upgrades that change the meta completely, like we had with the Fox trees. But again, I mean, we are getting there, right? And once we get there, there will be less stuff, but there will still be stuff here and there, and they will probably not in that like full sense of the word, but maybe drop feed content, you know. So there will always be stuff to be added. The only thing that I think it's kind of worrying about it, if you are worried about that, is these breaking updates, you know, big updates that really change everything and really bring another level to the games that we see, right? I think that's going to be a little bit less and less, you know, appearing throughout the years, right? But even then, they probably will find another type of vehicle to be added. For example, modern ships. I have a feeling that they might focus on that. Is it a good bet? I don't know. Not a lot of people play ships, but maybe not a lot of people play ships because the gameplay is not really there yet, you know, and it needs to mature and get things added to it or something like that. So I don't know exactly, but there will be a need of these groundbreaking things that they will add eventually. But I gotta be honest, even without something as big as Fox trees being added, we still have at least 5 years of content just being added constantly, right? There's still a lot of things to be added, even though it might not bridge and jump, you know, gaps and be a forward like gap of technology and stuff. There's always content there, and in the aircraft segment, I mean, it will be the same, and it's already behind the tanks on terms of year-wise and technology, you know, technically, right? So it will take even more time. So yes, we are approaching an end game on that regard, but depending on how Gaijin actually looks at it, it is going to take a while until we really don't have anything else to be added. And honestly, they are adding a lot of other stuff that it's mechanic related, gameplay related. Hopefully they focus more on that, because more important than the vehicles themselves being added, in my opinion, we should be focusing on the gameplay itself. If we have a good enough gameplay, an amazing gameplay, nobody is gonna care about grinding and getting certain vehicles and stuff. People will just want to play the game because it's a lot of fun. And we are already having a very good base, so it's just building from there, in my opinion at least. But let me know in the comments what you think about it, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see you, subscribe.